Imagine the roar of the crowd at Wembley, that electric hum of 100,000 souls holding their breath as the clock ticks down in the 1975 FA Cup final. And there he stands, bandaged head, sleeves rolled up, eyes like steel. Billy Bonds, the unbreakable heart of West Ham United, lifting that gleaming trophy skyward not just for himself, but for every kid from the terraces who'd ever dreamed in claret and blue. It's a moment frozen in time, a snapshot of grit wrapped in glory, but behind the legend, the lion-hearted captain who terrorized midfields for 2 decades, was a man whose life pulsed with the quiet ferocity of family firesides, hard-earned suppers, and a love that outlasted any trophy. Billy Bonds didn't just play football, he embodied it, the raw, unyielding spirit that turns boys from South London streets into immortals. Today, as the news of his passing at 79 washes over us like a sudden rain on the pitch, we're not here to mourn in whispers. We're here to celebrate the full arc. The Woolwich boy who rose to captaincy twice over, the devoted dad and husband whose off-field tenderness softened the edges of his on-pitch thunder, the simple life he cherished away from the flash, and the legacy that leaves us all a little emptier, yet profoundly fuller. This is Billy's story, not a highlight reel, but a heartfelt hymn to a life lived loud in the places that mattered most. Let's walk those hallowed grounds together, one emotional step at a time. Picture the autumn of 1946 in Woolwich, southeast London, where the scars of war still linger like ghosts in the fog, and into a modest terraced house on a street lined with bomb craters slips a baby boy named William Arthur Bonds on September 17th. Born to Arthur and Barbara, 2 die-hard Charlton athletic fans whose own dreams had been shelved by the Blitz's brutal hand, young Billy grew up in the shadow of the valley, kicking a battered leather ball against brick walls that echoed with the laughter of post-war resilience. Arthur, a factory worker with calluses that told tales of long shifts, and Barbara, the homemaker whose warmth turned rationed meals into feasts of stories, instilled in him this unshakable ethic. Football wasn't escape, it was armor. Money was tight, shoes patched with newspaper, Christmases lean but laced with hope, and Billy, the lad with the mop of dark hair and a grin that hid his hunger, found his fire on those cobbled pitches. By 16, he was a window cleaner, scrubbing glass high above the Thames, dreaming of the roar that would one day be his. That Woolwich grit, it forged him tough as old boots, loyal as the tide. At 510, with a frame built for battles, Billy wasn't the flashiest. He was the enforcer, the one who'd slide in with a crunching tackle and pop up unmarked to nod home the winner. From those humble beginnings to 799 appearances for West Ham, the club's eternal record, he became Bonzo, the man who wore his heart on his sleeve and his scars like badges. At 79, when the final whistle blew on November 30, 2025, after a long illness fought with the same quiet defiance that defined his career, Billy left us not broken, but bowed in gratitude. His family's words cut deep. He was devoted to his family and was the most kind, loyal, selfless, and loving person. It's the emotional truth of legends. They don't fade. They echo, reminding us that every thunderous header started with a father's bedtime tale or a mother's packed lunch. Family, for Billy, wasn't the roar of the stands. It was the anchor in the storm, the circle of arms that held him steady through triumphs and the tears that followed. Arthur and Barbara, those Charlton loyalists who somehow birthed a hammer for life, were his first fans, driving him to trials in a battered Austin, cheering from the terraces even when he donned the red of their rivals. Arthur's steady hand taught him to stand tall after a loss. Barbara's hugs mended the bruises no ice pack could touch. They passed in the quiet years, but their echo lived on in Billy's voice, gravelly with southeast twang, sharing stories at club dinners about the old man who'd argue, till the cows came home about Charlton's glory days. But the true heartbeat, his own brood, the wife and daughters who turned the chaos of cup runs into cherished chaos at home. It began in the swinging 60s, amid the haze of Upton Park's floodlights, when Billy met Marilyn, a Woolwich girl with eyes like the Thames at dawn and a laugh that cut through the din of post-match pints. They wed young, building a life in Eltham's cozy semis, then Sidcup's greener lawns, where the scent of her Sunday roasts mingled with the distant train whistles. Marilyn wasn't the spotlight type. She was the steady flame, the one slipping into away ends incognito, her scarf pulled low, whispering encouragements from the family enclosure. Through the 70s highs, the 75 Cup final where Billy, bloodied but unbowed, led the charge. She was there, hand in his during the medal ceremony, her pride fiercer than any fan chant. "Marilyn was my rock," he'd say in rare interviews, voice catching like a poorly cleared ball. She saw the boy behind the beard, the one scared of letting everyone down. Their daughters, Claire and Katie, arrived like perfect pitches, Claire first, with her dad's fierce spirit, then Katie, the gentle echo of her mum. Billy coached their school teams on off days, knees caked in mud, teaching them headers with a beach ball, but it was the evenings that melted hearts. Him reading Beano comics aloud, Marilyn rolling her eyes fondly as the girls begged for just one more. When Marilyn slipped away in 2020, after years of battling her own quiet fight, Billy's world dimmed. He retreated deeper into family, doting on granddaughters Eloise and Elissa with the tenderness of a man who'd conquered Wembleys but found his greatest joy in playground pushes and ice cream runs. "They kept me going," he confessed once, eyes misty. "After losing their Nan, we held tighter. Claire's strength, Katie's hugs, those girls' giggles. Family's the real cup in it." In a life of public roars, Billy's private devotion was his softest power, the emotional glue that made the lion-hearted captain forever human. On the pitch, Billy Bonds was thunder, a central midfielder who started as a right-back for Charlton, hunting his edge in the second division's grit from 1964, netting once in 95 games before Ron Greenwood swooped for £50,000 in 67, plucking him to West Ham like a diamond from the rough. At 20, he slotted in seamlessly, ever-present through 68-70, racking 124 straight league games until a nagging knock in 70. Greenwood flipped him to midfield, pairing his bulldog tenacity with Trevor Brookings' silk, two sides of the hammer coin. The 70s, peak Bonds. He dragged West Ham to the 72 League Cup semis, lost on replays to Stoke, but topped scorers with 13 goals in 73-74, including a hat-trick demolition of Chelsea that had Upton Park shaking. Injuries bit, a groin tear sidelining him mid-75, but he roared back, captaining the 75 FA Cup triumph over Fulham, that iconic bandaged brow a symbol of unyielding will. "No one took liberties with Billy Bonds," Brooking wrote, and you felt it. His tackles like thunderclaps, yet fair, earning 4 Hammer of the Year nods, 71, 74, 75, 87. Relegation stung in 78, but 80 brought redemption, lifting the cup again against Arsenal, the only West Ham skipper to do it twice. Promotion followed in 81, League Cup final heartbreak to Liverpool, but Billy's fire never dimmed. He hung up boots in 88 at 41, transitioning to youth coach under John Lyall, then manager in 90. A fan's dream, pulling the Hammers to promotion in 91, steadying in the inaugural Premier League 93-94. A brief Millwall stint soured, and by 98 he stepped away, content in the shadows. International dreams eluded him, just 2 U23 caps in 68, an unused sub in 77's Italy qualifier. But England lost out. West Ham gained a god. Tributes flooded after his passing. Mark Noble calling him the club's soul, Joe Cole the essence of Hammer's heart, fans chanting Billy Bonds Claret and Blue Army into the night. At 79, after that long illness wore him down peacefully, Billy's biography isn't stats. It's inspiration. The boy who window-cleaned his way to Wembley, proving loyalty lifts louder than any roar. Off the floodlights, Billy's lifestyle was the antidote to glamour, a deliberate dance of simplicity that grounded the giant. No yachts or tabloid flings for Bonds. He craved the everyday poetry of Sidcup sunsets and Eltham fish and chip runs. Mornings started with black coffee and the Sun's back pages, Marilyn's eggs on toast fueling walks along the Thames where he'd mull tactics or just breathe. Weekends. Family first, barbecues in the garden with Claire and Katie splashing in paddling pools. Later Eloise and Elissa chasing him for piggybacks, his laughter booming like a clearance kick. He wasn't teetotal, mined a pint of bitter at the Boland's local after wins, but home by 9, sleeves rolled for Coronation Street with Marilyn curled beside. Golf crept in post-retirement, a gentle hack around Kent courses with old teammates like Harry Redknapp. Despite their later rifts, swapping yarns over post-round loggers. Philanthropy flowed quiet, coaching inner-city kids in Woolwich, donating testimonial proceeds to youth academies. His MBE in '80 ate a nod to service beyond self. The 19 renaming of the London Stadium's East Stand to Billy Bonds Stand. He teared up, saying, "What more can you ask than alongside Bobby Moore and Trevor? It's for my girls, my grandkids. They'll see their granddad up there forever." Even in illness, his routine held. Hospital visits met with wry jokes, family huddles over hospital tea, Eloise drawing get well granddad cards he'd pin proudly. It was aspirational in its humility, a life where success bought time for the tender, not the lavish. Emotional, isn't it? In a world chasing spotlights, Billy chased sunsets with loved ones. His lifestyle a love letter to the ordinary made extraordinary by devotion. And the numbers? Billy's net worth, tallied in the quiet ledgers of a footballing life, lands around £5.7 million by late 2025 estimates. A fortune forged not in frenzy, but in faithful footsteps. Rookie wages at Charlton were scraps, £20 a week in '64, barely covering his bus to training. But West Ham's '67 move bumped it to £200, rising with caps and cups. By the '80s, he pulled £1,500 weekly, peaking at £2,000 as player-manager, plus bonuses that padded the pot. £10,000 for each FA Cup lift, testimonials in '78 and '84 netting six figures after tax. Managerial gigs added heft, £150,000 annually at West Ham '90-94, a brief Millwall bounce. Endorsements were sparse, he shunned the spotlight, but PFA Merit Award perks and MBE honors opened doors to speaking fees, £5,000 a pop at dinners, and club ambassadorships post '98. Investments? Savvy understated. Property in Sidcup and Eltham flipped for profit, a stake in local pubs where fans raised toasts to Bonzo. No wild splurges. His '79 Ford Granada was luxury enough, but the wealth secured Marilyn's care in her final years, Claire and Katie's homes, Eloise and Elissa's trusts. "Football gave me more than money," he said once, voice thick. "It gave security for them after all I put 'em through with the away games and injuries." At his passing, that £5.7 million isn't cold cash. It's the warm legacy of a man who banked loyalty over loot, provision over pomp, turning paydays into promises kept. It's the emotional calculus of a life well wagered. Every bonus a hug, every endorsement a bedtime story, proving true worth isn't in the wallet, but the worlds it builds for those you love. From Woolwich's wartime whispers to Wembley's eternal echoes, Billy Bonds' journey was a masterstroke of heart. A 79-year-old colossus who captained not just teams, but dreams, anchored by Marilyn's unwavering light, lifted by Claire, Katie, Eloise, and Elissa's boundless joy. His family's the foundation, his lifestyle the quiet grace, his worth the wings that carried them through. In football's fleeting frenzy, Billy built forever emotional fortresses where every tackle honored the tender, every trophy tasted of home. He passed peacefully after that long illness, leaving us to chant his name a little louder, hold our own a little tighter. Stories like his don't end. They inspire us to play on, lion-hearted and true. If Billy's tale, the thunder, the tenderness, the triumphs, stirred something deep in your chest, give this video a like to echo that claret and blue spirit, and subscribe for more dives into the souls who shaped the beautiful game. Tap notifications, we've got legends waiting. What's your favorite Bonds moment? Share in the comments. Let's honor him together, one story at a time. Thanks for remembering with me. See you on the next pitch.